What's up, y'all? I'll drink this nasty ass Arrowhead water. Arrowhead, awesome. I don't like Arrowhead, but I had some. For y'all in the Midwest and the South, y'all got Ozark. In LA, we got Arrowhead. Hook shot. Oh, I missed it. That's because I'm left-handed, not right-handed. I shot that with my right hand. Had I shot that hoe with my left hand, it would went straight in. It would have been bucket. What's up, y'all? So we about to talk about it. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball today, talk some politics, man. Before we even get into the basketball talk, man, welcome everybody. Welcome. And get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my annual yearly forecast for the United States. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, the birthday of the United States. And we are going to read what this next year is going to look like for the USA. Last year's predictions are pretty on point. We talked about this Ada Hart's revelation part of it. And we also talked about a lot of the turmoil that we'll be seeing in the United States. I'm going to review some things that we talked about on last year's reading. And then we're going to talk about what's going to be happening next year. Personally, without even looking at the cards, I think that motherfucker Joe Biden is done. I think Joe Biden will be replaced sometime in the next 2 months. Because that motherfucker looking dead. And tonight, Joe Biden is going to have an interview with ABC News. So it'll be very interesting to hear what he says. It'll be very interesting to hear what Joe Biden says. It'll be very interesting to hear, really bigger than what Joe Biden says. It'll be very interesting to see how the media spins it. Because the media spin is going to tell you what they plan on doing with his old, decrepit ass. So, very interesting things to be looking out for in the next couple days on the political sphere. On as far as local politics here in California, reparations is moving forward. They just gave $12 million to fund an agency and the Freedmen's Bureau to start making way for reparations. If Gavin Newsom is tabbed to run as president to replace Joe Biden, then it's going to be a tough road for the reparations claim that we have here in California. But I'm going to be keeping y'all up to date on all that stuff as news breaks. Same thing with the Supreme Court. People are over here asking me about what I feel about the Supreme Court's decision to make the president basically immune from law. And my answer to that is, what's new? President's always been immune from law, even if it wasn't written by law. So that ain't my problem. That is not my problem. Hell, making the president immune from law might free a president up to goddamn sign a reparations package. Because, as long as they can throw a nigga, even throw a white boy in prison for giving us something, they'll try it. So, hell, ultimately, it might work out for us. I don't know. Shit. But anyway, we talking about bullshit today. We're talking about bullshit. We're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about sports. I'm going to touch even more on the Drake situation because Luke said some things that was interesting about, Drake opening himself up. Kind of what I said, too, about him opening himself up for the bullshit by liking that post. We're starting to see the reaction and the fallout from the Drake situation. The Hells Angels boys he's partnered with. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, too. And I might take some of y'all calls, depending on how I feel. But if you like this shirt, you can get this at DewanB.com. Rebels to the cause. You see it? Don't you see it? Denmark VC. Robert Smalls. Bass Reeves. Who else do I got on the shirt? Nat Turner and Dessalines Jean-Jacques. You can find this t-shirt and more at DewanB.com. Go to DewanB.com for all your Wumpty Wamps and Boomty Bamps. You dig what I'm saying? Let me see here. Go to DewanB.com, sign up for our email list, donate to the GoFundMe. Got my music courses, my card reading course coming up, my intense classes coming up real soon. And yeah, we got all that coming your way. You dig? Go to DewanB.com for all the shit going on in my world. In the meantime, all right, make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all stopping up in here without hitting the like button. Welcome to everybody on Twitter. Welcome to everybody over on YouTube. Welcome to everybody on YouTube. Welcome to everybody over on Twitter. Make sure y'all hit the like button, please. So, we are here, we are here, we are here. Let's see here. Make sure y'all share this shit. Man, we deeper on Twitter today than we are on YouTube. What the fuck is going on, YouTube? Every time my channel get to a certain point, YouTube don't like sitting on notifications, so that's all right. We'll work around it. We'll work around it. But welcome to everybody on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and all them places, all the different sites that I'm streaming from. It's probably only like 3 niggas watching on Facebook, but thank y'all 3 niggas for watching anyway. If hell, I probably got 0 watching on Facebook. Facebook is a hoe when it comes to pushing my shit. Anyway, let's get into it. So Bronny James signs with the Lakers, and I'm not tripping, and I'm tripping at the same time because I like to win, and this motherfucker don't look like he can help us win. But I got a question for y'all, and I'm gonna take some calls on this later on, so y'all get ready. The phone line is not open yet, but it will be. Is this a power move? And if it is a power move, who is it a power move for? Who is it a power move for? See, I've been seeing a lot of online discussions and debates going around talking about, you're happy for LeBron, and he's creating generational wealth, and it's a power move. And I do agree this is a power move, but not in the way a lot of you niggas think. Not in the way a lot of y'all think. Yes, this is a power move, but it's a power move for the Lakers. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. This is a power move for the Lakers. They know you niggas is about to be watching all these games. And so much of Black America is going to feel like we as Black Americans won something because one Negro won something. And that's a typical thing here in Black America. We live our success vicariously through others too many times, unfortunately. And these people that run this shit, they know that. They know that's how niggas think. We ain't got to get these niggas shit. Let's give one nigga something, and the rest of them are going to like it. And then if anybody speaks up, like Dewan, and says, hey, this is just some entertainment, the rest of you niggas are going to rally around and chastise him for us. They know how this shit works. They know how this shit works. They know how this shit works. So let's get into it. Let's get into what this whole move with the Lakers signing Bronny Jr. Let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, the Lakers signed LeBron James to a deal, a two-year deal, And then they drafted his son, Bronny. And then today, they made a move that made me be like, these niggas don't give a fuck about winning. They signed Bronny to a 4-year deal, 3 years guaranteed, no two-way contract, as the 55th pick of the draft. Normally when players are drafted that late, they're signed to non-guaranteed deals. Or they're signed, if their deal is guaranteed, they get what's called a two-way contract. And that's what they play both in the NBA and in the developmental league. But Bronny Jr., being a player who was mediocre at a mediocre college, in a mediocre division in college, just got signed to a bigger deal than players that'll wash him on the court. So that's going to cause a ripple effect. If you're gonna be honest, can we talk about the ripple effect that that's going to cause? Mind you, when we're dealing with Bronny, he's a player who last year, before he played college, 2 years ago, before he played in college, he had heart failure. And this is where my concern comes in with him. He had heart failure. His heart stopped. Little man damn near died and had to be brought back to life. Well, technically he did, but he was resuscitated and his heart is functioning again. But with him having that congestive heart failure issue thing that he had, is he ready for the NBA physically? And I know the doctors cleared him and everything, but that's a lot. Only to be followed up by to have a mediocre college career to where you couldn't even start any significant portion of the season during your college tenure. To have that and then have the pressure of being LeBron James' son. LeBron James saying things like a couple years ago, tweeting that Bronny can beat most of the guys in the NBA now. That's a lot of pressure on somebody. It's a lot of pressure. And me personally, I don't think it's fair to Bronny. All the pressure you weird ass niggas are putting on him. Oh, he gonna be all right. He gonna be good. Look whose DNA he has. And they pumping this young man up. They pumping him up. They pumping him up. They pumping him up. And in this pump up, he's getting a lot of undue pressure on him. See, his dad got that pressure because his dad had the game. The physical size, the strength. Does Bronny have the game to handle the pressure that's about to get thrown his way? Because this was going to happen. They didn't give him a two-way deal, which I think is bad for Bronny. Because Larry, he's not going to be in the G League. Rich Paul signed him to a non-two-way deal. I think at least if you give him a two-way deal, he gets to go down to the G League and develop and get better. And he at least has a fighting chance. But with him getting a non-two-way deal, he's going to be up at the show. All 82. He about to be playing in the show. Which again puts him in the direct spotlight of the media vultures. What's going to happen let's think about this stuff. The pressure that Bronny's faced with. What's gonna happen when he has to go up against Ja Morant? What's gonna happen when he has to face Ant-Man Edwards? And his dad can't do nothing about it because them niggas will work his dad, will work the shit out of his dad too. LeBron ain't been a good defender in 8 years. How's it gonna look when Anthony Ant-Man Edwards crosses over Bronny, gets into the middle of the lane, jumps from 1 foot inside the free throw line, and put his nuts all in LeBron James's face and dunk on his ass and make his ass fall, but like, ugh, what's gonna happen to the little man's ego when he get crossover and his daddy get dunked on? What's gonna happen? You're not setting this young man up for success. You're not setting this man up for success. You're setting him up for failure. You're right, Dad said, hell, if Bronny don't play good in Summer League, people gonna be trashing him. Yeah. And then so today, this is how you know it's all a setup. So today, JJ Redick, a person who shouldn't be coaching the Lakers, by the way, talk about another pick that Lakers is just a shit show right now. This dude, JJ Redick, turns around and says Bronny earned his spot. This is before Summer League even starts.
There's a lot.
Listen to this dickhead right here, JJ Redick.
To like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
JJ Redick talking.
So you heard what JJ Redick had to say.
No, not that one, not that one, not that
Bronny available at 17.
Here we go.
What was it like having them be the first two players that you were able to help select?
But he provides something that we just don't have. You know, he's a movement shooter. He can obviously play off the bounce. We viewed him
the first round pick
very highly on our draft board, and he can score at all three levels. He's got size. There was a lot of things to be excited about with Dalton, and I'm excited to coach him. With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, right?
That part right there. That part right there. Right here, that part again.
I'm excited to coach him. With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this.
That's where you playing us, JJ Redick. That's where you're playing us. We haven't even started Summer League yet. No second-round players earned anything before Summer League in NBA history. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta, it's loud as fucking over there. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. It was loud as fuck in the other room. God damn. All right. So back, what was I saying? What was I saying before it got so? I can't be hearing shit in my ear and talking at the same time. God damn. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so here we go. Back to what I was talking about Bronny. So we got a player that's getting set up for failure. On top of being set up for failure, he got a coach that can't coach. A racist ass white boy named JJ Redick that is a tobacco chewing, beer drinking, by all accounts, cracker. And when I say cracker, I ain't talking about, I'm talking about what you would call redneck, Virginia, like just straight up country white is JJ Redick, the coach. And that's the coach. A white boy coach that has been accused of saying the N-word, and we all believe it. Hell, my wife went to Duke at the same time as JJ Redick. And she talked about how them stories went far and wide on campus about JJ Redick's bullshit. So the Lakers are a shit show right now. And so we have a couple things that's happening at the same. So this is what's going on with this whole thing with the Lakers. We have a lot of casual fans coming around, and this was my issue with LeBron James coming. I knew that LeBron James had a casual fan base that don't really fuck with basketball. Y'all don't really like basketball like that. Y'all don't pay attention to basketball like that. You only watch the highlight reel, and you fall in love with these personality types in the NBA. You weirdos. Well, I'm gonna call y'all weirdos. Y'all just already fuck with basketball like that, and y'all definitely don't fuck with the Lakers like that. It's y'all, and then it's us who like sports, who love basketball, and people like me who grew up in LA, and people like me whose mindset is, I don't give a fuck about none of these athletes' personalities, their families, or nothing. I just watch basketball to see 2 hours of competition and hope the team that represents my city I was born in wins and beats the other cities. It's my only relationship to basketball. I don't care about what these players eat, drink, nothing. I don't care about storylines. Oh, somebody wants to play with somebody's son. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All I give a shit about is the Lakers winning. And when Kendrick said they not like us, he meant Laker fans too. We different here in LA, man. We don't give a fuck. Win or go home. And if a player is not playing in the way we think they need to play to help us win, then they can get the fuck out of here. We booed Shaq. I'll never forget that game. It was a game in 1998 or 99 at the Great Western Forum. Arvydas Sabonis was beating Shaq up and down the court. And this is prime Shaq when Shaq was still in his 20s. Arvydas Sabonis was beating him up and down the court. You know what the Lakers fans did? We booed that nigga. We give a fuck if he was Shaq. You ain't gonna help us win. You can leave too, nigga. This was a post that I put up on Facebook, like, right, LeBron's first year with the Lakers. Look at what I put up right here with LeBron's first year with the Lakers. I told you niggas back then. LeBron's going to be held to the same standard as Shaq, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, the LA standard. This is going to piss a lot of y'all off. I told you niggas back then. Laker fans don't give a fuck about nothing but winning. We don't care about, oh, you're such a good father. Man, fuck them kids. If them kids don't help us win, they can get the fuck out of here too. We different out here in LA. We different. So it's two schools of thought that's going on right here. You got the casual fans that I do not welcome here in LA. I'm be flat out. As a Laker fan, all you casual LeBron James fans, I don't give a fuck about none of y'all. Well, in life I do. I hope you have a good life. But as far as like basketball goes, and my opinions on what's going on and my Lakers, I don't give a fuck about none of you niggas. So if you come around in my comment section after this talking about something, oh, the one is hating. Yeah, so what you gonna do about it? I ain't gonna change the way I talk. You dig? Because I don't care about none of that shit. You niggas, see, look, it's a lot of you niggas out there that be looking for emotional support athletes. And I ain't the one. It's too many, to me, and part of the reason why I'm such a hardliner is because, in my personal opinion, these men out here looking for emotional support athletes, y'all the problem. Y'all the problem with what's going on in our black society. Giving a fuck too much about a goddamn athlete. More so, these niggas will go out here and support and defend LeBron James 10 times faster than they'll defend a black woman. You saw Angel Reese getting basically racially lynched out there. And y'all was siding with the white girl, Caitlin Clark, half you niggas. But then when it turned to LeBron James, y'all want to become Malcolm X. Y'all the problem. Because this is the thing about it. I got niggas going around talking about some, okay, this is generational wealth, this is power moves. No. No. Black people, this is an anomaly. That's what it is. LeBron James getting his son a guaranteed deal on the Lakers, that's an anomaly. It'll probably never happen again. Or if it does happen, it'll happen a handful more times. Maybe. You're never going to get to the NBA, and your kids are damn sure not going to get to the NBA. So this ain't shit that your black ass can look forward to or look up to. This isn't going to happen for you. So stop all that dreaming shit. It's not going to happen. This is the anomaly of a person with a job handing down a job to somebody else who needs a job. You can't get that kind of motion going at your job. And you've been working there for 30 years. This isn't going to happen for you. So stop dreaming. What happens too much in black society is, in black society, we've been socially engineered to look towards athletes as our saviors, as our civil rights leaders, as our inspirations, athletes and entertainers. That's what we've been socially engineered to look at, especially over the last 30 years. Athletes and entertainers. The athletes and entertainers replaced the civil rights leaders of the 60s and the 70s and 80s. They've all been replaced by rappers and athletes. And we've been trained to look at these people as beacons of hope and beacons of power, when really they're just anomalies. Very few people are going to make the NBA. And out of the few that make it, even less are going to be able to stay in the NBA. Out of the few that make it, very few are going to stay. So when you're pointing your kids and your society in the direction of sports, you're selling your kids a pipe dream. Can I talk to y'all real quick? Can we get down to the nitty gritty? Can I break it all the way down for y'all? Hit the Cash App, though. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App, $DeWan Brown. Hit the Cash App. Let's break it all the way down. Look. Again, like I told you before, I used to coach basketball. And my stance on basketball and, how much energy we should be giving this sport, it all changed as I got right there in the belly of the beast. It took me going behind the veil for me to see it for the illusion that it is. Man, I used to be all about basketball, man, back in the day. She has to play it. I used to coach it. I'd be at NBA AllStar Weekend every year. I'd be for real. I used to be all up into that. Like, basketball used to consume a lot of my life back in the day, 10 years ago and shit. I done showed y'all. Let me see. I got some of my tickets. I even got some of my ticket book here. This is from AllStar Weekend. Was this the one in Phoenix or the one? No, this is one in LA. This that night that Blake Griffin jumped over that car and won the dunk contest. I remember that. That's just one. I got them all. I got tickets all around this goddamn house. Laker games, Clipper games, All-Star Weekend, all that shit. Well, anyway, I used to be around that bullshit a lot. And I say bullshit because once you're around it a lot, you realize it's bullshit. This was that game. Remember when LeBron returned to the Lakers? To Cleveland when he was on the Heat? Check that date. December 2010. This was LeBron James's first game. I flew to Cleveland to watch LeBron play as a member of the Heat against the Cavs. That's how much I used to really be in this NBA shit. I flew to goddamn Cleveland in December, y'all. What kind of shit is that? What was that, December 2nd, 2010? Yeah, I've been a part of a lot of shit, seen a lot of shit. But I said all that to say, seeing all that stuff, being there behind the scenes, being there behind the curtain, you really get to see how much bullshit this is. Being a basketball coach, I'll never forget, because one of the players I used to coach, I saw it took 6 to 8 hours a day to even make the NBA. Do y'all understand how much time it takes? Because right now, I'm going to break it down. First off, let me tell you why I'm about to go deep right here. Because bigger than Bronny James making the NBA and LeBron James getting him there, what's the overall message? There's always a story. There's always an overall message. That's why I talk about some of these simple topics so we can go deep. Social engineering happens through sports, TV, music, but for black men, especially sports. Especially sports. Thank you for the super chat, but bad jokes do not get repeated unless you give at least $50. You still gotta be funny for your jokes to be repeated, even with super chats, but I appreciate the super chat. But so in sports, they use sports to socially engineer the minds of specifically black men. We're the targets of it. That's why you have so many black men on ESPN and Fox Sports. From Jason Whitlock, representative the conservative fat black man, to Rob Parker, representing the old school Detroit slick talking ass black man, to Stephen A. Smith, representing the East Coast shit talking, but lying all the goddamn time black man, to they know that we're the main ones watching those bullshit ass shows, and that they engineer society through sports. And the engineering of Bron and Bronny together is what it is encouraging more and more of us to still be focused on sports. always focus on sports. They always got on. You got people who know about all the NBA shit, but they don't know who Lewis Latimer is. You don't know who Benjamin Banneker is. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. We're about to celebrate the birth of this nation, and we have all of these black children who have no clue who Benjamin Banneker is. We don't know that we invented the gas mask. We invented the elevator, the railroad crossing. We don't understand ourselves. We don't look at people like Johnny Cochran should be a hero. Ida B. Wells. People like AJ Gaston. People like Al Bell, the Stax Records CEO. Barry Gordy, Motown CEO. We have all of these examples of greatness in business, in medicine, in all these other areas of life that we excel in as people, but we focus too much on goddamn basketball. They got us focused on basketball. Crazy. They got us focused on basketball. Crazy. And what happens is, he said, okay, well, here's 40 then. All right, I'll repeat your unfunny joke now. He said, bro, a turkey sandwich with your friend AllStar Weekend. No, you done better than that. AllStar Weekend, I was having po' boy sandwiches that AllStar Weekend in New Orleans. Both of them. Nigga, a cold cut was my sandwich for the weekend. And my main sandwich was meat sandwich between your mama and your auntie. I'm just playing. But appreciate the super chat. So, we're socially engineered. I remember, you look at somebody like a Granville T Woods. When black people were inventing things and creating things, that's because that's where our mind was focused. You look at somebody like a Granville T Woods, the inventor of the fax, of the telegraph, what would later become the fax machine, the inventor of the train stopper, which helped create the roller coaster, someone that beat Thomas Edison in court for inventions. Granville T Woods was 7 feet tall. Had the social engineering that we have now been around 100 years ago, we would have had that man playing basketball and not inventing goddamn telephones. So a lot of our greatness has been socially engineered in the sports. So when you see situations like this, same thing in the WNBA, they're really pushing our girls into sports because sports takes a lot of time to develop untransferable skills. And LeBron James hit the genetic lottery. We're never going to see him again. His son hit the lottery as far as families to be born into if you want to chase that dream. The rest of you niggas ain't got a chance. But it puts that hope in you. So the social engineering is pushing us black men and black children more and more towards sports. And when I saw Behind the Veil, I saw that how much work it took to get there. I would see people who were bench warmers, couldn't play no more than 2 minutes every 10 games, putting in 6, 8, 9 hours a day of work every day in the off season just to ride the bench. When I used to coach my boys, I remember one day, I'll never forget the day I got an epiphany, the day it hit me. I got hit one day. I was coaching one of my boys who had a chance to play D1 ball. He was good. And he actually ended up going to play D1 ball. He didn't make the NBA. But I was like, it's going to require at least 500 free throws a day. You're going to have to shoot at least 2,000 jump shots a day on top of your strength and conditioning, on top, that's 2 hours of strength and conditioning, another hour and a half of footwork drills and dribbling drills and fundamental drills. So I was telling him, this boy at the time was like the 10th grade. I'm over here telling this boy he about to put in an additional 5 hours of work a day to make it to D1. And then once he gets to D1, he's going to put in an additional 6 to 7 hours a day just to possibly be drafted. Just to have to stand from their work 8 to 10 hours a day to keep a job on the end of the bench, if you're so lucky. And I was thinking, damn, anything you tell a genius black child to do and commit 5 hours a day on top of practice, anything our young black boys and girls commit to, where they're dedicating 5 hours of additional time a day, they're going to be guaranteed success. And I was like, man, I'm telling this boy to put in 5 hours extra work a day for a job he may never get. Think about that for a second, y'all. It takes 5-6 hours extra a day for a job you may never get. Most likely you won't get. And let's say you're good enough to make the NBA. What if your agent doesn't have the pull of the agent over here? Because I would see this all the time with one of my players I had. It's like, okay, that player just say that player went to UConn and he was a small forward and he had a point guard teammate that everybody loved, everybody liked. But then say North Carolina had another power forward point guard combination that they liked. Let's just say, okay, the teams that need your skill set is drafting at 17. They got a draft pick at 17 and another pick at 35. If the point guard because teams generally like drafting teammates if they can, for natural chemistry. Or just say you're drafted by you have an agent, and that agent has these two players. Well, your agent has a bad relationship with this team. For whatever reason, previous draft picks didn't work out with his agent. The agent did something shiesty and shady that this particular team drafted in that position, and they would probably draft you as a small forward. But we don't like your agent, or the other player's agent we like better, or that other agent has a player that we want better. So you're with an agent like Clutch Sports, and you have a LeBron James on your roster, Anthony Davis. You have all these other top-level players on your roster. The agent will power play with that team and be like, okay, take this player at 17 and that player at 35. You're better than the player at 17 and at 35. But that player's agent has a better relationship and better leveraging power because of his roster of clients than your agent does. Guess what? That other guy gets drafted. You don't. And your particular skill set doesn't necessarily fit with the other teams that are drafting in the first round. So now you done fell down to pick number 46. And now, okay, you're in the NBA. You got picked up number 46. Okay, how many players does that team have in your position on that roster? Do they have a vet? Just say you get picked at 46 and you're a scoring power forward, but that team already has a scoring power forward who has a $70 million deal. Now the general manager is going to say, look, you better play that player that's got that $70 million deal over this player we just signed for a league minimum. You could actually be better than the player in front of you. But if they have a bigger contract and the GM don't want to get fired, the GM is going to make that coach play that player over you. So say you do make it. You're going to deal with a whole lot of shit. I know how this game works at the back of my hand. So I want to smack some of you niggas when y'all question me. You don't know the fuck you talking about. So I was actually thinking that when I was coaching, I was like, man, I've seen what kind of shit and politics this game is about. And I'm telling this young man in front of me to dedicate 5 extra hours of his day to go through that gauntlet to get a whole bunch of non-transferable skills. And let me tell you something. I've seen it a lot. I'm going to see it this weekend when I'm up at the Drew League. Very few things more sad than seeing an athlete that's 6'8", 6'9", that dedicated their whole life to basketball and didn't make it. When them niggas get to be about 33, 34, and it's settled in, see, at least at 25, they could go to Europe. They got a chance. They know, okay, it's still a chance that they make it to the show. When you run across that 6'3" nigga that can hoop, and he now 35 and them hoop dreams are over with, and he has no other skills, or maybe he did play for 2 years, 3 years, and that money done dried up, coaching gigs are only going to start you at 20, 30 grand a year. If you're coaching in the NBA, you're going to get paid you're going to get paid not enough money to rent an apartment out if you're going to be in the film in the film department on the NBA team. I was thinking like, man, what if I was telling these boys to put that same time into coding? Put that same time, hell, into electrical engineering, hell, into being an electrician, literally any other skill set. If you dedicate 5 hours a day to it on top of your studies, you're going to make a fuck ton of money. Especially if you 16, 17, 18, 13, 14, and you learn how to code and how to do shit on the computer. Man, you don't come out of high school making goddamn $120 an hour. But I'm telling this nigga to go shoot free throws. That's when I backed off like, you know what? I got to rethink this whole NBA thing, this whole basketball thing. I had that epiphany myself. So when you see this, what we're about to witness next year with this whole Bronny situation being signed with his dad, we about to see a whole bunch of niggas talk about nepotism that won't spend any time putting themselves in position to give nepotism to their own fucking kids. You're gonna live vicariously through this man instead of through your works, and that's the problem. He say, you know, a lot of those athletes don't know. You're right about that. But the reason why they don't have no interest is because we as the adults don't impart it in them at a young age. I remember we always see every time we go to tournaments, the old Nike slogan, "Basketball is life." That was the big slogan when I was coming up. Well, not my 20s, in my 20s and hoop. And that was the slogan, "Basketball is life. Basketball is life." As I'm coaching these kids, all they see is basketball is life. And we as the adults, we focus on that shit real heavy. People want to naturally do what's going to bring them attention. And with us giving sports so much attention, we push our kids off into areas like sports like that. We got to watch this stuff, man. Sports is social engineering. First, this whole production of sports, all of this passion that you guys have for sports, is social engineering, y'all. That's what it is. And you got to see the BS coming. before it smacks you in the face. We have to emphasize more than just sports as a culture. And as a culture, we got to not allow athletes to be the goals that we set for ourselves, because the kids are watching. If the men are saying the athletes are who to aspire to, what are the kids going to think? We got to reprioritize sports. Sports is fun, it's entertainment. If you tall and fast enough and you got an honest shot at making it, then by all means, go right ahead and shoot your shot. You 6'4", you 6'7", you can run like God and run and jump like God, then yeah, go right ahead. But if your kid is, and this is most of y'all niggas listening to me, your kid is 5'9", all right? He runs like he has 2 left shoes. He has a 16-inch vertical. Your kid's not going to make it, okay? That's what requires you as the adult to make sure you keep their interested in things that's going to put money in their pockets. Because if that's your kid is 6 feet tall, even your kid is 6'3". If that motherfucker is 6'3" and he ain't got a 50-inch vertical, give it up. Your kid's not gonna make it. Flat out. And part of the reason why, like, one of the high school games that I saw with Bronny was one of my homeboy franchise. Now, he got a kid that can ball. His kid's actually, Caleb LeCount, is actually 5'7". But I remember seeing Caleb play against Bronny in high school 2 years ago. And 5'7" Caleb worked Bronny to death out there when King Drew played against Sierra Canyon. I saw that game. This nigga Bronny was getting worked by Caleb. But my man franchise ain't LeBron James. He can't power play his son into the NBA. And as great as his son is, he's only 5'7". Now, I think he's good enough to play sports somewhere around. I remember I had a conversation with him when he was like 15. And now they have the NIL deal. So he's getting a scholarship and he has NIL money coming in. So in a situation like that, Caleb also at the 10th grade was getting colleges to look at him. You're getting colleges to look at you and serious offers. Okay, give it a shot. But most of your kids ain't that good. Most of your kids are not that good. They're not. They're not even starting on a AAU team. We got to tell our kids the truth. Got to tell them the truth. But a lot of this shit we see right here, keep pointing the wrong way. A lot of this shit, that's social engineering. That's getting us pacified. And the real power move ain't LeBron and his son. It's Jeannie Buss and the Lakers. That's the power move. They know this Lakers ain't about to win shit with this move. But they know all you niggas are going to be watching to find out. We got bigger priorities in basketball as a people. We really do. We really do. And it's time we tap into them. It is time we tap into them. So is this a power move? We'll see. Do y'all want to call in? I told you earlier I'd do some call-ins. I'm kind of tired of talking. I was ready to log off. But if y'all want to call in right now. The number is 323-744-7425. As we get to tomorrow, we are reading the cards. We are going to give our 4th of July forecast for the United States tomorrow. So all you who new here, y'all about to experience these cards. Joe Biden, president half dead. It's a good chance he steps down really soon. And tonight, they're going to have an ABC interview with President Biden. And I'm going to be watching. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're also going to read the forecast of the country. What are things going to be looking like this 4th of July, the next 4th of July? And if you look outside right now, wherever you are in the world, look at how bright it is. Look at how bright the sun is on the 4th, the day before the 4th, and on the 4th of July. Do y'all know why? And I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow. The reason why it's so bright. The reason why it's so bright is because our Mother Star Sirius is in direct alignment with the sun on the 4th of July. Right behind the sun. And it's the closest star to the planet. And the combined sunlight from Sirius, in perfect alignment with our sun, gives the sun a little bit of a brighter shine on the 4th of July. Why am I saying this? That's the reason why we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th and not August 8th, when John Hancock, when the Declaration of Independence was ratified, August 8th. We celebrated July 4th because our Mother Star Sirius alignment with the sun. And that's why we have a red, white, and blue flag. Because our Mother Star Sirius, when she comes above the horizon in the fall, she shines the colors red, white, and blue. So it's an astrological story as to why we get down and how we get down, how we get down. But we're going to be talking about that shit tomorrow. We're going to talk deeper on that shit tomorrow. Yeah, I remember when Edon was working at a Toyota dealership. Edon went to my church when I was a kid. I don't know if he went there, but we see him there sometimes. And I remember him going to UCLA, him and Charles. And Edon is the reason why NIL deals exist. Edon is the reason why college players get paid now. And yep, he was working as at a Toyota dealership as a salesman, because that's always been the trick. You get a former athlete to work at your car lot because other white boys that went to those schools hear that fill in the blank athlete works there, and that's where they go to get their cars. No way in hell that man should have been having to work at a goddamn car lot. Appreciate that Edon remix. Appreciate that. Yeah. You see here. Oh, you took your nephews to the air show? Man, I love air shows, man. I love airplanes. That's dope as fuck. What kind of planes do they have? They have any FA-22 Hornets still left over? Or they got that, was it like military planes? Or them old crop dusters? Yeah, thank you to Edon, to the O'Bannon brothers for the NIL deals. So basically, what I want to basically finish off by saying, look, I'm not here to crap on Bronny for getting what he got, but I am a Laker fan, and as a Laker fan, he's on my squad. If Bronny was on any other team, I wouldn't give a shit. But he came to LA, he came to the Lakers. And his father put him in a fucked up position. Because I'm not about to soften up just because he's here. Not about to do that. Bronny is about to get to be under the same scrutiny and pressure of any other Laker that we've ever had on the squad. And I don't want to hear you hoe ass niggas coming saying, "Oh, you're hating." Nah, nigga. If we ain't winning, I'm gonna talk shit about Bronny, about Coach JJ Redick, about LeBron, and whoever else I deem is the reason why we ain't winning. Quite honestly, as a matter of fact, I'm damn near this close to taking a break from goddamn the Lakers. But that's what we're here for. Tomorrow we are going to get it in. We are going to do a reading forecast. So tomorrow we have a reading show. So if you have reading questions tomorrow, get ready. That's what tomorrow's show going to be about. And we're gonna review Joe Biden's interview that he's going to have later on today. We're going to review that interview and talk about how close he is to leaving office, because Joe Biden ain't going to stay in office. He ain't going to run. He is going to be replaced. And when it comes to this whole Drake situation, it ain't looking good for you, Drake. You shouldn't like that post. We don't want to see this shit turn physically violent. And it's the Canadian that's starting the shit and encouraging and condoning the shit. And all them other niggas that was mad at Kendrick for writing They Not Like Us and saying that Kendrick was swirling and starting things, and they was pointing the finger at Kendrick. Ain't none of them motherfuckers saying shit to Drake about involving the Hells Angels in rap beef, a racist organization. Very interesting times we live in, indeed. All right. I want to thank y'all again for listening. Have a happy 4th of July weekend. I will be with y'all tomorrow, 4th of July, doing a 1-year forecast reading for the United States and what the year is going to look like. And I will be taking some of y'all readings too, all right? All right, I'm about to get up out of here. Remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Thank y'all for listening. We out.